Konnichiwa everyone! We just had an amazing 6-day trip around Japan's Chubu region, using the Alpine-Takayama-Matsumoto Area Tourist Pass. In this travel series, we will share with you all about this 5-day JR Pass, our daily itinerary including the Alpen route and different places we visited, the hotels we stayed at, food recommendations, and, as the Tabituts channel always does, a lot of travel tips. Now this video is all about Alpine-Takayama-Matsumoto Area Tourist Pass. Yes, the name is quite a mouthful, so let's just refer to it from now on as the ATM Pass. This 5-day pass is from Japan Rail, which is also behind different JR passes that we have enjoyed using a couple of times in our previous trips around Japan. We will share where we bought it, how much it costs, the area it covers, how we used it, and if it's worth getting one or not. Please note that we paid for everything. All businesses and products we will mention throughout our trip are non-sponsored. Why did we buy the ATM Pass? Our main agenda for this trip was to go to the Alpen route, particularly to see the snow wall in the Japan Northern Alps covered with snow. We did thorough research to make sure we do things right on this trip and not waste any time or money. Without exaggeration, after 9 DIY trips around Japan, this trip was the trickiest one we've planned for. Before deciding to buy the ATM Pass, we compared different passes, including the cost, usage days, and route it covers. Then we compared if it would be more cost-effective than just buying the tickets separately based on our itinerary. Alpen route tickets sold per day on-site are limited. And during the peak season, which was the time of our visit, people line up really early to secure their ticket. So the main deciding factor for us in buying the ATM Pass was that we found out that having an ATM Pass guarantees that you'll be given a ticket to the Alpen route. Buying the ticket online is possible, but we prefer to keep some flexibility in our itinerary according to the weather conditions. The ATM Pass is available on Klook and we bought it there. The delivery period to the Philippines may reach up to a week, so being a month away from the trip, we still had enough time to wait for the mail. This is something you need to take into consideration when ordering it on Klook. Not long after placing the order, we received an email from DHL that it is en route already. They regularly sent us updates, and we were pleasantly surprised to receive the delivery the next day after ordering it. Of course, we would not recommend that you expect it to be the case all the time. Now, how much is the ATM Pass? The actual cost is 23,800 yen, but the price on Klook in your currency varies depending on the prevailing foreign exchange rate. For example, it was 8,772 Philippine pesos when we bought it, but the price today, June 21st, is 8,830. This is the amount we paid for the two of us. We used the Klook credits we collected from previous bookings and a promo code. Klook credits are minimal per booking, but we get more credits from posting reviews of our experiences on their app. JR passes are typically not included in Klook's online promotions, so we recommend that you take note of promo codes shared by different content creators. For us budget travelers, we appreciate any discount. Now, for those not yet familiar with a JR Pass, what you will receive is this exchange order, but this is not yet the actual pass. Once you're in Japan, you need to present this in your passport at a JR ticketing office to claim the actual pass, where you will tell them the period or dates you want to use your pass. For the ATM Pass, we claimed it at JR Nagoya Station. Once you get this, you're good to go. This is what you will either insert at the ticket gates or show the staff at the train gates, whichever is required. Please make sure not to lose or damage it. They will not issue another one. The ATM Pass allows you 4 ticket reservations. This is useful for JR Limited Express trains, where you get to have assigned seats. Now, what areas and transportation lines are included in the ATM Pass? This is the whole route covered by the pass, where you can take unlimited rides on all JR train lines in this path, and across the Alpen route for 5 days. You can even take the Alpen route more than once if you wish to. As you can see, the ideal entry and exit point is Nagoya, which is what we did. Now we'd like to share how we used our ATM Pass for 5 days. Basically, we took the clockwise route. We figured it would be more logistically convenient for our itinerary. On day 1, we took a red-eye flight from Manila to Nagoya. We arrived at JR Nagoya Station in the morning, claimed our ATM Pass, and took the JR Hita Express train to Takayama. The travel time was around 2.5 hours. We bought lunch at the station and ate on the train. We arrived at Takayama by lunchtime. We spent our first night at Takayama. Since it's too early to check in, we just had our luggage stored at the hotel and went on with our day. Not wanting to waste the day, we then got on the JR Hita Express train to Hita Furukawa. You may also take the Takayama line. We spent the whole afternoon walking around the area. It was such a beautiful and serene town with the nicest locals. We totally recommend including it in your itinerary. We returned to Takayama late in the afternoon via the Takayama line. We checked in at the hotel, had early dinner and called it a day. Now before we move on, please note to always check the train schedules when planning your itinerary. Like in the case of JR Hita Limited Express train schedule between Nagoya and Toyama, there are several trips to Takayama, but only 4 reaches Hita Furukawa and Toyama. And there are only 4 trips from Toyama to Nagoya throughout the day. On day 2, we veered off this route and had a day trip to Shirakawa-go. We've always wanted to visit this UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is just 1 hour away by bus from Takayama, so it was a no-brainer to include it in our itinerary. We spent our morning in Shirakawa-go and returned to Takayama early in the afternoon. Please note that the bus trips to and from Shirakawa-go are not covered by the ATM pass. We spent the rest of the afternoon walking around Takayama. By the way, we checked out of the hotel before going to Shirakawa-go and left our luggage with them. Later in the afternoon, we claimed our luggage and took the last trip of the JR Hita Limited Express to Toyama. We have reserved our tickets the day before. We arrived at Toyama after a little over 1.5 hours and checked in at the hotel. We spent 2 nights there, and it was actually the only hotel in this trip where we stayed more than 1 night. We spent day 3 exploring the city of Toyama. We didn't use the ATM pass that day because we took their tram lines, and they are not covered by JR. Day 4 is when we went through the Tate Yamakuroba Alpen route. Since we would do the end-to-end route and we would not return to Toyama to get our luggage anymore, we had our suitcases transferred from our hotel in Toyama to our hotel in Nagoya. They would arrive in Nagoya the next day, so it was just in time for our check-in at the hotel there. We just brought an overnight backpack for our day 5 clothes and toiletries. There is an option where you can drop off your luggage at one end of the Alpen route until an end time in the morning, and claim it at the other end until an end time in the afternoon. It now costs 3,000 yen per piece. We didn't choose it because it's more expensive, and not having to claim suitcases and lug them to the next destination at the end of the day is one less thing to worry about. Now when you have an ATM pass, you can only get your Alpen route ticket on the actual trip day. We just presented our ATM pass, then the staff assisted us. This Alpen route ticket covers all modes of transportation between Dentetsu Toyama and Ogizawa. It does not include the bus between Ogizawa and Shinano-Amachi. For this part, we just presented our ATM pass to the driver before getting on the bus. We will talk about the Alpen route in detail, including tips on planning, scheduling and other stuff on a separate post. The focus here is on using the ATM pass. From Shinano-Amachi, we took the JR Oito train to Matsumoto. The trip took around 1 hour. After a long day, we checked in at the hotel, had dinner and called it a day. On day 5, after we checked out and left our backpack at the hotel, we went to Matsumoto Station to book our train tickets to Nagoya in the afternoon. Then we spent the day exploring Matsumoto on foot. It was the last day of our ATM pass, so we had to return to Nagoya before the day ends. We took a mid-afternoon JR Shinano Express train trip to Nagoya, so we would arrive by early evening and have enough time to buy souvenirs. It was our last night. Since our flight was in the evening the next day, we still had until the afternoon to go around Nagoya before we said sayonara Japan. Now if you are wondering if we got our money's worth in buying the ATM pass, here is the summary of our usage. Our return on investment may not be as huge as our previous JR passes, but it was still definitely cheaper than buying the tickets separately. The question is, would we recommend that you buy it too? The answer to that is it depends. If you're planning to do an itinerary similar to ours or counterclockwise, then yes, it would be a good idea to get one. But if you're just targeting to go to the Alpen route and follow a different itinerary, our advice is for you to check how much your potential usage of the ATM pass would be and see if it would reach the cost of the pass. If not, then better to buy separate tickets instead. We believe that our itinerary is not for everybody. We were able to explore a lot of areas, but it was not convenient to transfer hotels practically every day. It also required a lot of research and careful planning to make sure we made the most of our time and money. But for those who are also up for it, we hope we were able to give some idea on how to maximize the 5-day ATM pass. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And subscribe to our channel to be notified on the upcoming videos of our Chubu region travel series. Always remember, travel responsibly. Till the next one, thanks for watching.